everyone, Vicious Cycle podcast here. If you like what we're doing at Vicious Cycle with chats about periods and phone calls from listeners and funny songs about periods, we would hugely appreciate if you guys would hop onto iTunes and leave us a review. Those things are super helpful when it comes to people finding us. So do that. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, do that. And also, enjoy this episode.
Welcome to this week's episode of Vicious Cycle, the podcast about periods and the people who get them. I'm one of your hosts, Meg Trowbridge.
I'm Meg Hayes.
And I'm Kate Elston. Hello.
Hey.
Woo. Hope everyone's doing good.
Yeah, I really do. I sincerely hope every listener is having a good day. So this week, we're hosting another On the Bleedia.
On the Bleedia.
Uh-oh. On the Bleedia. Uh-oh. On the Bleedia.
Uh-oh.
On the Bleedia.
Uh-oh.
Do you guys remember the second one? On the Bleedia. On the Bleedia. On the Bleedia.
Bleedia.
Ooh, that one's fun.
My harmony game is off, guys.
I love how all of our theme songs have two theme songs.
I know. I'm like, we might have to just start picking one.
Can I just talk about something right off the bat?
Wow, Kate. Wow.
You know that, do you guys get like right around your period or before it starts, like the clear liquid discharge?
Yes.
That comes
the
out.
one that I talked about that you made fun of me for in 5th grade.
Yes. But no, but that
When
was
I
not-
said discharge 12 times and you were like, stop
Right.
saying discharge.
But I'm talking about not that, like the stuff that like, I mean, that's
It's
like
like pre-period.
It's like pre-cum, but
Yes.
period.
Yes. Like
Gross.
sometimes, so I just had it so bad that it even showed through I was wearing jean shorts.
Whoa.
And it showed through my jean shorts. And I don't think anyone would have noticed it.
Those
It
are
kinda-
called jorts.
jorts.
But continue.
Yes, they are jorts. I don't think anyone noticed it because it kind of just looks, it wasn't
Dark,
bad. It was
whatever.
dark. So, but I was like, oh man, but it was
Yeah.
just clear liquid.
Interesting.
And I feel like some cycles are heavier than others, but what I hate about it is that when you realize that you have that, it's too late to put in a light day because it's too wet and it doesn't stick.
Yeah.
So it's just a mess. So I'm excited to try.
So it doesn't even work? You're saying
I
that
feel like
even
it
with a
slides off.
tampon,
No.
it just goes
Oh,
to your undies?
I'm not wearing a tampon in this moment. It's pre-bleeding.
It's like you're not actually on your period.
Not on my
It's
period.
like,
It's
You're
just-
not going preemptive, Kate?
No, I am not going preemptive, but like,
Never
so
have,
when
never
I
will.
never will. But when I notice it, I go, oh crap, okay, I'll put in a light day. But then it's usually, it won't stick onto the underwear. So I'm excited to try these new like cloth.
You mean a
napkins.
pad.
Light day.
Light day pad.
Yeah.
I thought you meant light day tampon.
Oh no. No.
I was like, it won't stick to the tampon?
Light day pad.
I'm like, girl, what's wrong with your discharge? It's like, get out of my way.
what's wrong with your tampons?
I'm making it out of here one way or the other.
But yeah, like a little liner. It just
Yeah, it won't. Yeah. And then
stick
Got
to
it.
wet.
And then so I'm excited to try the new like cloth ones because then you don't need to.
Yes.
Yeah.
They can just stay there.
That's a little teaser for a future episode.
Yeah. We all have to have our periods though before we do that. episode. Shoot. So we can try all the alternatives to tampons and pads.
Can I cheat and have my sisters do it?
I mean, if anyone has
if they can tell you in great detail.
Oh,
what
we've
yes.
it's
been
like.
we've been getting phone calls about menstrual cups.
Yeah.
From
Yes.
people. So keep calling you
Yeah.
guys because I know I'm going to need a pep talk about how to use a menstrual
Yep.
cup. It
Yep.
looks so big.
Yep.
It looks like a monster I'm about to
Yeah.
put up in my vagina. So please call in with your tips about a menstrual cup. 9106 uterus. Let us know how you like them, or if you don't.
Yeah. Your like meditations as you're inserting it, you know.
Yeah. Pro tips. Yeah. Tricks of the trade.
Also, any like menstrual undies.
Yes.
If you are,
I bought
proponents.
some things. I'm ready to use
really?
them. Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited to try them. I haven't had a chance yet. So
This has been something that I'm like, I now know is more common than people talk about. So I'm going to talk about it, but it feels vulnerable to talk about it.
Meg,
So-
you want to talk about something?
Can I talk about something? But okay, so I basically discharge every day of my cycle. Like I'm just, and like I went to the gyno way early on to be like,
Like clear discharge.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this normal? And like, one of my friends was telling me that she's similar, and she just calls herself gushy. She's like, oh yeah, I'm just super gushy, and I'm like, huh? Thank you. But I went to the gyno, and she was like, oh, you just produce a lot of estrogen, so this is just like how your body deals with it. And I'm like, okay, but it just got to be so much that I basically wear a liner every day.
Wow.
And I mean, now I'm like super used to it.
Wow.
But now I'm like much more aware of like waste. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I need
Get
to
some
like
Thinks or get some reusable pads.
Yeah.
And then
Get a sock like last week.
yes, exactly. Try all this stuff.
Hey, get a sock.
Come on.
You've got an odd tube sock lying around that doesn't match anything.
That's true. I do have lots of socks that don't match at this point. But I was reading an article about how, like, because I write for a women's newsletter, and it was saying that this gyno was suggesting that if you are someone who has something like that, to like change your underwear like during the day, like, and I'm like, who can do that? Who can be like at work and then be like, pardon me, and then like, where do you put the used undies?
Yeah.
You
What?
know, like, but right, like that's
Girl,
crazy.
get out of here.
But the gyno was saying like that's probably healthier for you than like wearing a liner.
we don't all
wearing
have our
plastic
own
liners.
private office with personal bathrooms attached. Some of us have to go to the bathroom in a restroom that doesn't lock, and you're just praying a kid doesn't walk in.
Oh God.
And terrify everyone.
Oh, it makes sense. And another thing.
Look, they know it's for adults, but you would never know. Someone could go rogue at any moment.
it's a lot. It's a lot. But on to why we're actually here today. Great.
Sure.
Meg Hayes did a bunch of research.
She got her legal pad.
I got my legal
Yep.
pad.
Yep.
I think I've narrowed it down to 4 pages.
Oh boy.
Oh, good.
All right, let's get started. Our On the Bleedia today is about a lovely lady named Zainab Merchant. She is a 27-year-old American citizen. She has a dual degree in political science and homeland security, which I didn't even know you could major in, but she majored in it. She's a mother of 3 and a graduate student at Harvard in journalism and international security.
So she's real smart.
She's real smart. She's a founder of Zainab Writes and ZR Studios, which is like a mixture of like a blog and a multimedia studio place where people submit information on current events, and basically their whole motto is peace and justice through storytelling. So,
wow. I love that.
In short, a lovely and impressive person.
So she majored in Homeland Security.
Yeah, you got. I don't even like that's.
I mean, I guess
that's
that-
on
it's
her bio. I'm like, I didn't even know that was a thing. But wowzers! Wait till you
Yeah.
hear what the story is about.
Go ahead.
Okay, so it all started 2 years ago, in September of 2016, when Zainab was traveling to a wedding, and in one round trip, she was stopped 10 times for security checks.
God.
I can walk you through it. I basically drew a graph because it was so fucking insane to me that she got stopped so many times. So she lives in Orlando when she's not going to school with her family. Orlando to LAX. Their bags were checked. They were patted down. They were checked again. They were checked a 3rd time at the boarding area. They were escorted out of the terminal, checked for a 4th time. Their baby was left unattended because she and her husband were being checked at the same time. They missed their flight. They caught a flight to Portland, flew standby. While they were flying standby, they were stopped again. Drove to Vancouver, Canada for this wedding. Luckily made the wedding. On the way back, they were stopped at the U.S.-Canada border overnight with their baby. And stopped 4 more times before they made it home.
Jesus.
My God.
So, and also, like, I don't think this had been happening to her before this. So it was just like, boom, you get stopped
Wow.
10 times in one trip. And at first she was like, okay, people are just doing their job. I'm sure it's random. And then it was like, yeah, this is not random, obviously.
Yeah.
So for the last 2 years, she's been stopped a bunch of times and doesn't really fully understand why. Oy vey. I mean, let's just really get into it. Right now, she basically has to get to the airport more than 3 hours early. She has to have them call Washington to allow her to fly. I don't even know what that means, but she has to do that.
And she's an American citizen?
She's an American citizen.
That is insane.
Yeah, she's had to do private screenings with multiple pat downs. She's been pat down at like the boarding area, which is really uncomfortable and stigmatizing to be done in front of all the people you're about to fly with.
Yeah, that's crazy.
She once had like dogs brought out to like sniff her luggage. Like there's been a lot of hoopla around her flying. Ay vey. It's just super ridiculous. So basically she doesn't know why this is. She's afraid she was added to a watch list. She's not sure why that is. There's kind of like 3 possibilities she's thinking of. It could be because she's made comments about U.S. policy on her blog. Again, she's an American criticizing U.S. policies for probably pretty good reasons.
Yeah.
She's Muslim. And her family visited Iran to go to like a holy shrine. And so she's thinking it could be one or all of those things. But she doesn't know for sure. She's basically asked, like, why. She's written to Congress. She's filed multiple requests to Homeland Security. She's applied for global entry, which would expedite clearance. She was denied. And basically their response is, we can't tell you if you're not. We can't tell you yes or no.
If you're on the watch list.
And basically, like, this happens all the goddamn time, mostly to Muslim people and people from the Middle East. In 2017, almost 15,000 searches were conducted in the first half of the year, which is 3 times the amount in 2015. What's happened since 2015?
I can't think of anything
So
obvious.
September 2016, I mean, that was during the Obama administration. I'm not going to paint a picture that this hasn't been happening in the past because we just commemorated 17 years since 9/11.
Right.
And actually, Zainab had like a really thoughtful, super fucking sad post about what happened to her after 9/11, which is basically she got super fucking bullied in middle school because of all of this sentiment.
Yeah, right.
So this shit's been happening for a long time. She's been dealing with it in one way or another.
I love, like, this is like the last on the Bleedia with you. I'm like, where is this going? How is this about
Where's the
periods?
periods?
like it's exactly like,
Don't you worry.
I know it's getting there, but I'm like, I don't. How? I'm like, I'm afraid I know.
How ever could this be connected to periods? Well, Kate, you're about to find out. Recently, Zainab was traveling to go to a speaking engagement, and she was being patted down by TSA agents. They were patting down her groin, and they said they needed a deeper look.
What?
She told them that it was her menstrual pad and that she was on her period, because I think that they obviously felt something. Jeez. She wanted the screenings to continue in public to avoid escalation. They threatened state troopers. They said, state troopers are on standby. You need to come with us or this is going to take longer. She was pressured into a private room without a lawyer. TSA officers demanded that she pull down her pants and underwear. And she had to show her bloody fucking pad to TSA agents.
That is
So upsetting.
the most fucked up thing I've ever heard.
Take a fucking moment for that bullshit. Okay.
Moment taken.
When she tried to write down or get the information from the officers, their names, their badge numbers, they covered their badges, they covered their name tags. So
God, it must have been so. I can't even imagine what she felt.
I can't imagine how traumatizing that would be.
Yeah.
I mean, even just being patted down on your grain to me is like, bye, I just won't fly. Like, enough.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's enough for me to be like, peace out. I'll drive.
I give up. Yeah.
Sorry, Mom. Yeah. So basically, she got in touch with the ACLU. The ACLU filed a grievance and is basically calling for an investigation into conduct of TSA agents, Border Patrol officers, and they're asking for a release of records that have to do with all of this stuff. And the crazy thing is, like, I read a bunch of different articles, which Meg, I can give to you to post on social media. I read a BuzzFeed News article by Ikran Dahir. I read a Washington Post op-ed that Zainab wrote. HuffPo had an article about it by Roweda Abdelaziz. And this stuff's been happening for 2 years. So there were articles from 2 years ago about this stuff that had nothing to do with this most recent issue. So over the past 2 years, like, family members have kind of distanced themselves from her because they're afraid of kind of the repercussions of being connected to her. It's just
because of all the stops.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just all sorts of fucked up. So, like, God bless the ACLU. They're standing up for her. They're saying it's highly stigmatizing, all the shit that she's been through. And yeah, basically they're doing what they can to help her and get her justice and make sure that this shit stops.
That's outrageous. Did you find anything else, like any other times this has happened? Are there other incidents like this?
I've never heard of something like that ever happening. But I mean, 15,000 Americans searched in the first half of 2017, most of whom are Muslim or Middle Eastern. Like,
15,000 almost seems low to me, to be honest.
In the first half, but compared to like 8,000.
Yeah. And does that mean like searching like private searches?
I think this all is connected to basically being on a watch list that requires that you get a second screening. Sure. Yeah, I have it. Give me a sec. Let me just flip through this novel that I wrote. 700,000 Americans are put on a watch list. I'm assuming that is a recent count. Many were Muslim or Middle Eastern. So that's just people on the watch list. And most of them have zero ties to terrorism.
Of course, yeah.
700,000 Americans.
Yeah.
For unspecified reasons that don't include terrorism.
Probably purely because of what they look like.
Yeah.
Deeply offensive.
You would think, I feel like Chris Rock has this joke. Someone has this joke where it's like, you would think that they would like fake it a couple times. Like just throw a couple white girls on that list just to cover their tracks. They are blatantly like, listen, motherfuckers, we're afraid of Muslims. So all y'all are going to get like so overscreened that you're just going to stop traveling. And Zainab basically said like, she loves America. She grew up here. She went to school here. This is where she raises her kids. She wanted to show them the country. She loves to travel. And now she's like, pretty much we mostly go on like short car trips.
Yeah.
Because can you imagine doing this with 3 kids?
Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, I work with a lot of people who are Muslim, and I just was on a trip with someone who wears a head wrap. She's not Muslim, but she wears a head wrap. And she's like, how was your TSA experience? And I was like, fine. And she was like, yeah, I all the time get patted under my hair and under my head wrap. Like every time. And it's just, it's something that the only time it happens to me is when something in my bag, I have water left over in my bag.
Let's name all the reasons that we've had issues at TSA.
I'm pretty sure the only time I've gotten that like random check, I was in France. And I had a hangnail on my thumb, so I was biting my nail. And I'm pretty sure that is like something that they tell like people to look out for. Like that's
nervous
like
people.
Yeah,
oh, sure.
So I was like, when they pulled me aside, I was like in the middle of like chewing on my nail. And I was like, okay, just a second. All right.
Let me finish this.
Right. Just got, there we go.
Yeah.
That's the only time I've ever been searched.
And did they just do a pat down?
They didn't even touch me. They just went through my bag.
Yeah.
One time I brought a large a jar of Nutella.
that's
they
so
had
you.
to confiscate it
as liquid?
I didn't think so, Meg, but they did. And I told the
sucks.
TSA agent, can you just take it? It's so sad that
It
you're
needs to
throwing
go
it
to-
away.
It needs to go to a nice home.
He's like, I would lose my job. Also, my mom got me this like baton, this like mini rod to put on my keys. so that I could, quote, get DNA from someone that tries to attack me.
Wow. I
so
mean,
like, again, it's something that my mom got from a women's conference because women have to basically protect themselves against the patriarchy. And that got confiscated. And I was so fucking pissed because the guy was just, he was like, is this a weapon? And I was like, well, yeah, I'm like a single woman living alone in a city. Like, yeah, it's for walking in my car, asshole.
Right.
And he was like, oh, I didn't think San Francisco was that dangerous. And then he kind of came to the realization that like women are at a higher risk of being attacked than men. Yeah. And I was like,
anywhere ever.
Thanks for confiscating that. And they like took a picture of my ID alongside of it. I was like, okay,
all right,
that's so weird. But that's like nothing in comparison.
They didn't touch me at all.
They didn't touch touching
me
your crotch and making you pull down your pants.
Yeah, the only time I've ever been patted down, I think, is because my underwire makes waves.
Oh, sure.
Kate,
just like a liquid here or there.
Yeah,
like nothing. Yeah, never.
There's like such overwhelming privilege that we have to get to the airport like an hour early and
rush through.
Fine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
So what's the status of, like, what do we know what's going to happen next with Zainab?
So I think they're in the process, ACLU's in the process of filing. They've officially filed this grievance, and I think they're in the process of hearing back.
Crazy.
I follow her on Instagram now, and I was so nervous for her. Like, she had another flight, which was the first flight after that had happened.
Oh, really?
And she was doing like Instagram stories, and she was like, hey, just so you know, they're about to take my phone. And
can we listen?
And then it was 2 hours before she came back.
Oh my God.
So I'm just refreshing Instagram all the time, like, fuck.
Yeah.
And she was like, luckily I made my flight. Yeah, let's take a listen. So this is Zainab doing a Instagram video while she's in line waiting for security.
You've been saying not to fly, to let this, go silent about all this, to just try to drive. That's not the solution to all of this, because when an injustice happens to you, you have to speak out against it. And I'm not just fighting for myself, I'm fighting for my family, my children who've been traumatized at airports, and people who face these kind of issues every single day. I'll keep you guys updated here on my blog, and definitely look out for the updates. Thank you. Bye.
So what happened? Did she got through okay?
She got through okay. She said that they did an illegal technology search. So they've forced her to unlock her phone for them. And then they'll give her back her phone, and her Facebook is opened. And they've been looking through her friends list.
Jesus.
Yeah. Shady ass shit.
And this is all like, there's so much that's happening under Trump that's made this stuff worse.
Yeah.
And like, there's so much, like I just did research that there are like really fringe right-wing groups that have just been on the fringes of society forever, that their former like executive directors are now like in CPB and in ICE and in like, they now like work within those agencies. And it's just so upsetting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is a good thought, but don't you think if any of this like bullshit, like inappropriate behavior worked, they would loud it? They'd say like, look, our TSA people have totally thwarted a bunch of threats. Like,
yeah, there's no proof that any of this has thwarted a threat.
No.
Yeah. This is just,
the only proof is that like Americans are like, their rights are taken away.
right.
Like,
yeah.
Searching your phone without a warrant, I'm pretty sure that's illegal.
Yeah.
Like forcing you, like also not allowing you to call a lawyer.
Yeah.
People.
Wait, so when do you know, like, I mean, I don't want to like, but like, was she alone with a woman at least when they looked at her?
I know.
I would assume so.
I don't know. Would you?
Yeah.
Usually, I mean, because when you go to
to
the airport, they usually tend to
if you
do
like
same
get pat
gender.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But she did say that she has been really anxious and feels really violated when they take her phone because male TSA officers can see pictures of her without her headscarf on her phone, which is super violating.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah. So there's definitely parts of that.
What do we know about what she's like? I don't know. Else is going on
she's
with her?
obviously a badass. She's not backing down. She's reminding people to like speak up for themselves when things happen to them. Like, part of her life's purpose is to like fight for peace and social justice. That's what she's doing in her career. She also like wrote a really beautiful children's book. Like she's just an all around awesome person. So I think it'll be an interesting story to follow. I just really hope that there's some follow through and it doesn't just fall by the wayside as like, well, I guess TSA sucks. And also it's not just TSA, it's Homeland Security. It's like, why in God's name is she on this watch list to begin with?
Right.
She's a graduate student and mother of 3, like, and American citizen.
Yeah.
What the fuck does
Right.
she...
Like, can someone convince us it just
What
isn't
threat is
blatant
she?
racism?
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, she's really inspiring. It's really brave, I think, to come forward. And she says a lot of people are really afraid to because they don't want to have harsher implications. Right? Like, if for all she knows, things could get worse because she's been so vocal about it.
Yeah.
So I just commend her for being so open about what's happening. Mm-hmm. And God bless you. It's so fucked up that you had to deal with that.
Yeah.
And I hope it never happens again.
Me too. Amen.
Yeah.
Amen and a woman.
Vicious, 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 vicious cycle.
I mean, does anyone have
Oh boy.
these on the Bleedias are one giant read my labias, but if anyone has
There.
another one they want to share that's
Ugh.
as horrific as that, I hope not.
Can you guys remember if I've already vented about the company Hims?
No.
No.
Okay. I mean, this has been like something I've been meaning to bring up for a Read My Labia. But,
Wait, hold on. Read my labia.
Read my labia.
Read my labias.
Read my labia.
labias.
Okay.
Yeah, hey.
Meg, is this a Read My Labia Minora or Read My Labia Majora?
Majora. It's a Majora.
A majora is what happened to Zaynab. Like,
Right,
that's
yes,
a majora.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Majora.
It's like the whole like cervix, uterus, outer lips, like down to the knees.
Yeah.
Like it's all of
Yes.
it.
But no, so there's this company, and I don't want to shit on the company because I think it's like the right direction. It just got me all riled up. So the company Hims is a company that was developed for men who want to discreetly get like erectile dysfunction and hair loss medications, so they don't have to go to the doctor to like get the stuff that feels very vulnerable to talk about. So I'm like, wow, that seems like that was developed quickly. And why the fuck do women have to show up to ask for birth control? Like
In person.
Why do we have
And
to get
Plan B.
fingers and speculums, you know, shoved up our...
I'm like, yes, men, right away, men, as you wish, men.
Right. I was just like, if tomorrow I can't get birth control via this some app that's for me, I'm going to be pissed.
It's an app. It's like a delivery
Yes.
app. Get the fuck
Yes.
out of my life.
So luckily then later I saw that now there's a company that's doing that for women for contraception. And I'm like,
good.
fucking...
Yeah, in probably San Francisco and
Yes.
LA.
Right, exactly.
Not where it's actually needed.
Yeah.
To people.
But I'm just like, oh, well, you know, poor men, it's really hard to talk about their dicks. And I'm like, fuck you. I have to have people, strangers, in my vagina once a year.
Inside me.
Yeah. And I'm just like... and
Talking
then-
about how I look like a cave. Get out of here.
all right, that's just on you.
I mean,
You're talking about your inverted pubic bone again, Meg?
No, okay, you guys, I Googled it and like nothing showed up.
Uh-oh.
What?
Yeah.
Did your doctor lie to you?
I don't know. All that showed up was an anterior tilt, which is a pelvic tilt, which men and women can get from like sitting too long and not working out and stuff, which I think is just like, yeah, like the way your posture is can affect your pelvis.
Oh my God, she's so right. There is nothing
There's
coming up.
nothing.
This is like the least amount of Google search
I
I've
know.
seen ever.
It's almost as bad as like nothing was returned to you from this Google search.
Because then...
there are like 8 results on this page, and that's it. That is so
Weird.
And
funny.
none of them have to do with it. I even tried to look at a graph
Yeah, because this whole time you've been saying
and a
inverted-
diagram, and I'm like, oh, what if? Because she literally did the motion of it's supposed to look like this, and she did like a half circle going up like a rainbow, and she said yours looks like this, which was an inverse, which was like a cup.
A J or something. Yeah.
I still don't really know what you mean by inverted pubic bone.
I
I've
don't
just been
either,
I've
Kate.
just been going along and nodding.
Right.
I'm like,
Hey,
totally.
That's exactly how I feel, which is why I Googled it. I even tried to find like the pubic bone
Yes.
on like an anatomy chart, and
Right.
I still don't totally understand it.
Yeah, because I recently.
I love that you've been talking about it like you totally knew too.
I mean, I know I have it. She literally said, "Did you have an accident as a child?" And I looked at my mom like, "I don't know. Did
You
I?"
tell me, Mom.
She like were you dropped? Like, did you get? I was like, what? I don't know.
Oh, so it's like it was a result of an accident.
As opposed
no
to like how
idea.
you're born.
No clue. Meg, also no idea.
Okay, stop eating. Also, why are you
Sorry.
eating?
This is just the theme. I thought it was a cool thing between me
No,
and the audience.
it's in my headphones, and it's read my labias, Menorah. When people chew into their microphones,
I forgot I was doing it because I was so enveloped in the conversation.
what were you going to say, Meg Trow, about inverted pubic bones?
I think I can't remember why, when, or how, but I recently saw a chart that showed the pubic bone, and I was like, oh, because I think I was thinking of it as that like the base, like your hips, but it's actually
little.
it's a small little thing, and it's actually up front, like
Yeah.
not connected to your spine,
Which is why I need a specific like angle when getting laid, right? Because it's at like the head.
Yes. Yes.
We're saying a lot of words and we don't really know what they mean.
We don't know what the hell we're talking about, guys.
So Meg, when are you going to the doctor? When are you saying
October.
October? Okay, maybe I'll do
Gonna get this
November.
done. If they can see me, who knows? Maybe they'll be like, yeah, we can see you in February. And
I need
then
to figure out this pubic bone situation. I was fully like, I don't know, maybe it's going to be like inverted pubic bone equals infertility. Like I had
You're
no
like, am I
idea
ready
what I was
for
going to
this
find.
knowledge?
It was like,
Inverted pubic bone, you Google it, it's actually like the name of a hard rock band in Sweden.
that's not what I need.
Hello, we're inverted pubic bone, and we're here to play you some hits. I don't know why they talk like that, but they do.
Read my labias.
Read my labias.
Read my labias.
Read my labias.
Oh boy.
We have fun.
All right, that was our On the Bleedia episode, our second On the Bleedia episode.
Yeah.
So far, both really depressing but informative.
Important to talk about.
I was going to put the words important and informative together. Informative.
It's good.
We'll workshop it.
You can follow Zainab at Zain Sight on Instagram. That's ZAIN Sight, as in I can see you. She posts a lot of really interesting stuff. She's really open about all of the things that she's going through. And she's, like I said, just a really interesting and awesome person.
So, Meg, thank you so much for that research, and thank you everyone for listening. Please let us know if you have an On the Bleedia that you want us to shout out on the pod. Contact us on Facebook or Instagram. That's Vicious Cycle Podcast, and let us know about any cool or depressing or importative, what was the word I used, articles that you find. Call us 9106 Uterus, and in the meantime, just, hold out for another week. We'll be back in 1 week with another episode.
Yeah.
Until then, keep calm.
And tampon.
It may be primal, it may be vital, but it makes you homicidal. It's a vicious, it's a vicious, it's a vicious cycle.
Our theme song was performed by The Go Ahead. Check out more at thegoaheadmusic.com.